Hi, welcome to episode 15 of the Brand Storytelling Prompt series. I'm Carrie Legend. I'm your host forever, now, and always. And today we're going to be talking about the hard luck story. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's prompt is tell a story about a customer who is having a hard bit of luck or a hard time with something. What was the most devastating for them? Illustrate in words how your product or service turned things around for them and how your brand saved their day. Now, keep in mind, you always want to try to make the customer the hero, but sometimes you have to kind of like swoop in and save the day, right? Okay. One of the stories that I can think of off the top of my head is when I had a customer come to me and she was like, I've made all these like digital printables and I can't get people to buy them. She's like, I wrote my funnel and I'm still not getting any sales. And I was like, okay. And she's like, and unfortunately, I was laid off and I don't anticipate getting a job anytime soon. I'm between a rock and a hard place and I don't know what to do next. And I really need to make money. And she started just like bawling on the phone because we were having a phone conversation. And I'm just kind of like sitting there. I'm like, okay, crap. Like she's in no position to make an investment. Um, she was really hurting bad, and I was like, okay, tell me about your funnel. And keep in mind, she had already paid for an hour of my consulting time, right? Um, and I had a feeling that she was going to be hurting here pretty soon financially, so we really needed to turn things around. And she was like, well, can I just like send it to you? And I was like, sure, yeah, send it to me. Let me read it over. And so we finished the conversation and I agreed to, take a look at her funnel. And I read it and I'm just like, oh, geez, okay. You know how you kind of like work with a customer and you realize like, I don't think that they understand the assignment. You know what I mean? Um, so long story short, I'll try to shorten this up. But long story short is I had to rewrite her entire funnel. She paid me um, for time to get that done. I rewrote her whole funnel, and I really had to make everything really nice and punchy for her because this was like her last chance, right? Everything was on the line. She had just lost her job. She was single, paying for an apartment. Her roommate had moved out, so now she's on the hook for the whole apartment rent herself. She has another mouth to feed. She's got a dog, and everything is riding on this because when you're living from paycheck to paycheck, there are no savings. You're paying for student loans, and it only takes like one little nightmare emergency to really just like set your world tumbling, right? So I rewrote the funnel and I was like, okay, we're we're good. Like if I were presented with this funnel, I would buy from you. You would get me. You would get me as a customer. She's like, okay, great, awesome. All right. So we turned it on and she reloaded everybody that was on her email list into this funnel, right? So we had specifically constructed it so that her existing customers or people who had signed up for her freebies would see it. And lo and behold, sales started rolling in. Now, granted, her printables, were only ranging from like, $5 to $10 a piece. But when you are so accustomed to having no sales come in and then all of a sudden see that your funnel is working, that is like night and day you know, save my life versus watch me drown type moment. And it was great for her. I don't think I've ever seen someone so elated in my life. I think I saw relief in her. I think I saw anger at the same time, angry with herself, that she didn't do this sooner because it could have prevented her from having to like skip meals and everything else. Um, so things definitely turned around for her. And whenever I see like a customer like experience a win, that is always a good day for me too, because it feels like I was part of that, like something that I did or I helped with. I was part of that journey, and just it's always nice to watch people succeed with stuff that you've either written for them or designed for them, and just to watch them grow and flourish, knowing that you kind of gave them like a nice little nudge, um, and that's always rewarding. And yes, my brain was there to save the day. Yes, I did all the writing, and it wasn't hers. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Sometimes you need a good copywriter, right? Sometimes you need somebody with experience in writing funnels and who understands how to sell, how to present products, how to present solutions. And it doesn't matter who wrote it. What matters to her is that it worked and she was able to pay her bills and she was able to survive. And that to me is a win. And she became her own hero because she took a risk. You know, one of those bold, risky moves that we've talked about earlier. She took a risk in having someone else do her copywriting in her sales funnel, and it paid off. And that was a great day. So take a moment to share your story of where you actually had to swoop in and save the day, but also make it about your customer. Um, make it about them, because it's not just all about you and everything that you did and you know what you worked on. It's not like an opportunity for you to brag or to show off your skill set. That kind of comes out naturally when you're writing some of these stories. Help your audience understand how your customer feels and what they're able to do now as a result of working with you. And I think that that'll be a really interesting story to share. And it's a lot different than just like a customer testimonial story. Like, Sally purchased this and now she can do this. I mean, there's no emotion in that. There's no, um, hey, you know, she was in dire straits. Like, this is what life was like. You have to kind of like show them the reality. You have to show them the ramen noodles that are being eaten. You have to show them that, um, you know, the dog is having to share the ramen noodles with her, you know, type thing. You have to kind of paint that picture. Like, this is what her life was like. This is what she was up against. And as a result of her taking just a bold, risky move, I was able to help her, save her career, save her apartment, save her dog, save herself. Um, and now she's flourishing. Isn't that fantastic? So anyway, I look forward to reading some of your stories and of how you've been able to help customers kind of turn things around and help them in a beneficial way. I have some links in the description for you to check out. Some of the resources are free, some are not, but they're so worthwhile. I promise you. Um, and I would love to have you as a shop customer and have your business, obviously. And if you found this video helpful or insightful, um, give it a like so that I know that you like this kind of content, or you like getting some of these brand storytelling prompts, or even just ideas or thoughts of things to talk about. Because I like to go in a little bit more detail than just your average prompt. I could just read these off to you and be done. But no, I like to talk about them a little bit further because I think that there's more context behind some of these stories that you could take. And as always, thank you very much for showing up and being here and watching the video all the way through. So glad that you did. And if you subscribe, you'll see more videos come from my channel. And I thank you very much for watching. See you soon.